SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing the 2013 NHL Playoffs, and right now we are talking with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. We just got finished discussing the series lines for Rangers and Boston, and now we're going to discuss the Game 1 lines. Joe, thanks for being back with us.
Thank you, Peter. Can't wait to get the second round started.
Absolutely right. So we discussed what we think might happen with this series. We both agreed that it's got 7 games written all over it, and it's likely to be low scoring. The Game 1 lines have Boston as a minus 132 home favorite, the Rangers plus 122 on the other side. These are the latest lines for Pinnacle that I saw. The total, though, is 5 plus 115 on the over, just minus 125 on the under. I'm thinking that's a great bet on the under. What do you think?
Yeah, no, exactly. I was alluding to in our video when we were previewing the series that I don't always feel comfortable when I happen to agree with all the talking heads, but in this case, I do. It just seems that every game has low scoring written all over it, and 5 is a pretty high total. Obviously Boston, they've got Chara, who's one of the most intimidating defensemen around. They have with Milan Lucic, a very good defensive forward. Rick Nash was slowed down against Washington, where they were putting 2 guys on him. They might be able to. Boston might be able to slow down Nash as well. The Rangers' big guns hadn't done much in the first series, and of course, as we know, both teams with spectacular goaltending. The Rangers play that defensive style, which is, we're talking earlier how they got rid of Marian Gaborik, who just didn't want to play that defensive style. So these are 2 defensive-oriented teams that like to block shots. They both have good goaltending. 5 does seem like an enormously high number.
Well, yeah, at minus 125. I have to think that's going to close, closer to minus 140, minus 145. And I think the under is going to be a good bet on, the first period line, second period line, full game line. All right, for the money lines, it's the Rangers plus 122, Boston minus 132. You think there's an edge on either side there?
Well, this is one of those series that's so closely contested, even though in the Rangers' first series, the home team had won all 6 games. These teams are pretty evenly matched, and probably just blindly betting the underdog will turn a profit in this series. But both teams, of course, went to 7 games. However, Boston, more emotionally and physically draining. The Rangers had the surprisingly relatively easy time, 5-0 shutout in Game 7. Boston couldn't have taken more out of them physically and mentally. Now, I know there was some possibility they were going to start this series on Wednesday. They're going to start it on Thursday, which, although it's going to benefit both teams, it probably does benefit Boston a little bit more, where if there's only 1 day rest, the Rangers might have been, I won't say more refreshed, but the less tired team still. All in all, I think Boston a little more physically and mentally spent. And the good thing for the Rangers, they got some production out of their third and fourth lines. So when you're talking about a series that was so physical for both teams, the fact that the Rangers got some production out of the third and fourth lines and will probably be slightly more refreshed, I'm going to go with the underdog.
Yeah, I agree, especially if Andrew Ference is out for Boston. If he's out, definitely like the Rangers a bit at plus 122. But we both agree under 5 at minus 125 is the way to go. Thanks, Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com.